Welcome back to State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes. Coach, what a difference a week makes. Man, great win in Arrowhead Stadium against the Kansas Jayhawks. Must be feeling a lot better about things.
Yeah, I thought our guys played well and, played well in critical situations and, felt like that, kind of said it all along, felt like we had a good football team and it was good to go on the road and in a hostile environment. I mean, Kansas did a great job showing up. There was almost 50,000 people at Arrowhead. It was loud. We had some bad things happen to us. We turned the ball over 3 times, and our players never blinked. They just kept playing hard, kept believing in each other, and was proud because I thought we made some plays on offense when we needed to. We got the ball back and ran the football when everybody in the stadium knew we were going to run it, drove it down the field, kicked a field goal to go up 2 scores. Thought we got some critical stops on defense at the end of the game, but the one that stood out to me was after Josh threw the interception before the half. We go in. They have the ball at the 5-yard line. We force them to a field goal, which I thought was huge. And then obviously special teams stepped up with John Paul's punt return for a touchdown. So felt like that all 3 units, took a big step forward and made critical plays in big situations, and that was big for us.
You hit on one of the points I was going to ask you about, but the running game, running game showed up. The O-line appeared to play really well.
Yeah, we did. We challenged the guys this week, on both lines of scrimmage, really. We needed to do a better job stopping the run. We were playing a Kansas team that runs a million different schemes. They're really hard to defend. They got us on our heels a little bit early, but I thought Coach Avalos and the defensive staff made some great adjustments after the first 2 drives and really held them to 1 more touchdown and a couple of field goals. And so thought we played really, really good defense as the game went on. Guys were more comfortable. You could see us starting to get settled in a little bit defensively. And then the big thing for us offensively was running the football. And loved the way that, as the game went on, I thought we got more physical. I thought the offensive line started to really start to pound Kansas a little bit. I thought our backs ran hard. Jeremy Payne, I think, was a great addition. He made some big runs in the game, did a good job hitting it north and south. So it was good to get back on track with the run game. We feel like it's something that we still got to continue to emphasize and get better at, but it was a step in the right direction.
Your young quarterback continues to impress, along with the receiving core that seems to get bigger and better every week. I mean, these guys have a healthy future for them. Yeah,
I'm excited. I mean, Josh Hoover just gets better. I mean, he's so much better now than he was 2 weeks ago. I think he'll be so much better in 2 weeks than he is now, and just continues to improve. He's just a professional in terms of his approach and the way that he works and prepares for the games. And I think the receiving core and he are starting to get on the same page. Jack Bech continues to play very consistently. Eric McAllister has had over 100 yards the last 2 weeks. I think he's starting to kind of play with some confidence. It was good to see John Paul make some plays, and Savion Williams will continue to obviously make plays when he gets opportunities as well. So feel good about the group. Probably like to get the tight end involved a little bit more moving forward than we have up to this point. But again, I like the way we're headed.
It seemed like your team was all business on Saturday. Was the moment lost about playing in Arrowhead? Did guys have a chance to appreciate that?
Yeah, I think so. I think they were excited. I think they were excited to get to play in a NFL stadium, and but once the game starts, all that stuff goes away, and it's all about performing and doing your job. And thought our guys really had a great week of practice. There was a lot of talk and a lot of stuff about our team, and I think the guys kind of ignored that and showed up and went to work and got better this week. And that's just the approach we have to have no matter what. I mean, it's always the same. I think in college football, if you win a couple of games, people talk about how great you are, and if you lose a couple, people talk about how terrible you are. And the truth is always somewhere in the middle, and the players just have to show up and go to work and be mature about it.
I'm sure. Are you willing or able to tell us how the plane ride home felt or what's going on?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, plane ride home was kind of the same as it always was. Grading the film. We had a short week this week, and so you get that game finished. They get the iPads to you. You start grading the game, and your focus turns pretty quickly to Houston. And so I think our players got to enjoy it maybe a little bit more maybe than the coaching staff. We're kind of on to the next one pretty fast. And so we were in here early Sunday morning, trying to get ready to practice on Monday and Tuesday this week, and everything speeds up a day with a Friday night game.
Well done, Coach. That's Frogs take the Kansas Jayhawks 38-27 at Arrowhead Stadium. We'll be right back with your student question of the week with State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes.
What do you see when you look up at the clouds? At Richard's Rainwater, we see the greatest source of pure, delicious water looking right back down at us. We've invented a simple, powerful technology to collect and bottle rainwater. Our process begins with the rain. When clouds become saturated, droplets fall from the sky. Rainfall is a naturally cleansing event. During the first few minutes, the raindrops clean the atmosphere and wash away any dirt or debris from surface areas. At this cleanest point in the rain cycle, we collect the pure raindrops into large storage vessels. Then, we use a simple, yet effective combination of ozone and microfiltration to ensure our rainwater surpasses the highest drinking water standards. We pour the pure, refreshing rainwater into glass bottles and aluminum cans, packaging as infinitely renewable as the water itself. Richards Rainwater is building a network of collection systems across the country to ensure our rainwater is local everywhere. The purest, best-tasting water comes from the sky. Richards Rainwater, sip the sky.
Welcome back to State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes. Mallory James Mahoney has this week's question of the week.
Thank you, JW and Coach Dykes. I am here at the Colonial Country Club, and I am here with Tim Jessup. He is a walking score volunteer for the Ben Hogan Invitational, and he has our question of the week.
So, Coach Dykes, I have one question for you. I know you play a lot of golf. How good are you? And tell the truth. I marshal the Pro-Am, and I've seen you play.
Tim, thanks for the question. My golf game's not very good. I'm probably about a 15 handicapper. One of those guys that, I can play pretty well for 6 or 7 holes, and then inevitably I'm going to have a couple of triples. And so very inconsistent, but I enjoy playing golf, really love the game. Look forward to retiring someday and being able to play more than 4 or 5 times a year. But that's just the way it is right now, and really enjoy it. My son is starting to play, so I'm excited to have a chance to watch him as his kind of junior golf thing takes off. So excited about the game, love the game, wish I got to play more.
Seems like kind of a loaded question, too, because if your golf game is pretty good, then obviously we'll ask questions of why you're playing so much golf, but we know you're not.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've known some really good coaches that were obviously really good golfers that were coaches, but it seems like those guys don't last long. In our profession, you're pretty much grinding all the time, and especially obviously during the season and in spring as well. So, you better enjoy playing hot summer golf, which I don't really enjoy that much, and so I don't play that often.
How was Spike at the golf game?
Yeah, he played a little bit more. I mean, once he retired, he played, probably 5-6 days a week, but I'm not sure I like it that much.
Well, there's your question of the week. Thanks, Tim. We'll be right back with our next opponent on State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
Welcome to the Squire Shop. We are locally owned and operated since 1994. We specialize in the finest men's clothing that the market has to offer at affordable prices with unbelievable service. We do custom clothing all the way to more casual, Peter Millar, Johnny O, kind of everything. Well, my dad's the owner, so I've been around retail my whole life. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's the best boss I'll ever have. I know that. We love our TCU community. They have been so good to us. Come see us today. Go Frogs!
Welcome back to State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes. Coach, we have a Friday night game in the Carter this week against the Houston Cougars, a struggling Houston Cougars team. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, better football team than probably people think they are. Took Oklahoma to really the last play of the game in Norman. Really you could make the argument they physically dominated the offense, the line of scrimmage on offense and defense. Oklahoma had a hard time really getting much going against them. They're a top 30 defense. They do a good job stopping the run. They're big up front, kind of based out of an odd front, attacking, kind of trying to penetrate, get you on your heels a little bit. They do a nice job to get you in third and long by, blitzing. You're going to see everything. You're going to see field pressure, some boundary stuff, going to see corner blitz. You're going to see a lot of different looks against them. And then offensively, they got a lot of speed. Good skilled players, a lot of speed, a couple of different quarterbacks that they're playing right now. We're not exactly sure how that's going to play out. And then two elite returners, one of the best punt returners in college football and one of the best kick returners as well. So a team that's a very challenging football team, and a team that has played really well at times. I've been impressed with how much their offensive line has improved the last several weeks. So it'll be a big test for us.
One of the coaches on your staff, by the name of Dana Holgorson, might know a thing about the Houston Cougars. What can you tell us about him and how he's been helpful?
Yeah, obviously Dana was the head coach here last year, recruited a lot of these players. You know, the interesting thing about Houston, they have 63 new players. I think it's more new players than anybody in college football. So there's obviously some guys left over. You know, the quarterback was there, Donovan Smith was there with Dana, Joseph Manjack, one of the receivers that's a really good player, was there. A lot of guys that were you know, that are new. I mean, a lot of new faces for Houston, some guys that came from Tulane with Coach Fritz when he took the job, and it came over to Houston from there. And so kind of a new team, but obviously Dana's been able to give us some insight on some of the strengths and weaknesses of some of those players.
Speaking of Coach Fritz, Coach Willie Fritz, a seasoned veteran coach. He's the always raspy Coach Fritz. What do you know about Willie Fritz?
You know, I've known Coach against Willie started in '95. He was the head coach of Blinn Junior College. I was an assistant at Navarro. So '95, '96, they won back-to-back national championships at Blinn, had Michael Bishop and Quincy Morgan and a really good team there. Willie's been successful everywhere he's been. You know, he's worked his way up through the years. Always does a tremendous job of taking over programs that necessarily haven't been good and finding ways to win. And he did that at Tulane most recently, and I'm sure he'll do the same thing here in Houston. The guy's a really good football coach. He knows what he's doing. You know, has a plan, and does a really good job of executing.
Absolutely. Coach, the team obviously is feeling better than before. Is the mentality different now? Do they realize that they have a team that can actually win games?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that they felt that way all along. I think that, you know, we had a game that we kind of lost right at the end. If you look around the Big 12, almost every Big 12 game is decided right at the end. And our game against Central Florida was a hard-fought game that was decided at the very end. And then we had a really bad game where we turned the ball over 5 times. And so, you know, when you do that, you're not going to beat anybody. It doesn't matter who you play. And we ran into a team that played a lot better than we did. So our guys have known all along that we have a good football team. We understand what the Big 12 is going to be like. I mean, it's going to be week in, week out. It's going to come down to the last possession of the game. If you look around the league, pretty much every score is a one-score ball game for the most part, and you know, and everybody's kind of beating up on each other. And so for us, this is a chance to, you know, to continue to improve, and that's what it's about. It's about, you know, getting better every single day, about going out and playing better. We've got to do a better job of taking care of the football. You know, if you look at us offensively, we scored 80 points in the last 2 weeks, and we've turned the ball over 8 times. That's almost impossible to do that. And so, you know, we're really explosive and really good on offense when we take care of the ball. We got to get that corrected. And then we've got to do a great job defensively getting off the field on third down. We've probably given up too many third down conversions, certainly gave up too many in the last 2 weeks. And so we got to get those things fixed. And if we'll do that, then we'll have a chance to have a good football team.
Not to ask a dumb question, but speaking of the turnovers, what do you guys do different in practice when things like that are coming?
You know, nothing. I mean, we coach turnovers hard all the time. I mean, it's something that we talk to our players about every day. We're emphasizing, you know, ball security, the way you hold the ball, the way you handle the ball. You know, we talk about it literally hundreds of times every practice. And so, you know, it just boils down to doing it. And we had, you know, sometimes some weird things happen. We had a ball bounce off of Savion's foot, it kind of bounced up in the air, and it ended up being an interception. And you know, we just got to do a better job of you know, identifying that ball a little sooner, of making a better throw, and just continue to make sure that we're emphasizing taking care of the ball, because it's very difficult to go on the road, beat a good football team, and turn the ball over 3 times. It doesn't happen very often.
Any concerns playing on Friday night, a short week for the guys?
You know, not really. I mean, I think you know, obviously we got back Sunday, gave the players off, tried to come in and meet with those guys on Sunday. We didn't practice, but we met with them and made our corrections from the game, and then got on to Houston as quickly as we could. And you know, our coaching staff's kind of operating on not a lot of sleep. You know, you've got to do a lot of stuff on the front end of the week, and that's just the way it is. And so we've had 2 good prep days, and I'm looking forward to you know, to watching us play on Friday. I think our guys are excited to play. I think we're ready to play a home game. You know, I think that the guys are excited to play on ESPN and excited to play against the team that they can see on film. It's a good football team.
Absolutely. Does it affect recruiting at all, being on Friday night with all the Friday night high school games?
You know, it's funny. There's a lot of kids that are playing on Thursday, so it hadn't probably been as big an impact as I thought it would be. A lot of guys have Thursday night games, and then this is kind of a big open week in high school football as well. So we're actually going to have a pretty good a group of recruits and a surprising number of significant guys who are going to be able to come to the game on Friday.
Great to hear, Coach. We'll keep the coffee machine going. We've got to get this thing going. Great job this week against Kansas, and we'll see you next week on
Yeah.
the Frogs with head coach Sonny Dykes.
Looking forward to it. Should be a heck of a ball game Friday, and excited to watch you guys play.
Thanks, Coach.
Roxo Media House.